Get back in there. Go on, get in there. Go on. There you go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Aaron with Lansing Lawn Service. Today, I have another driveway repair to do. However, this one is going to have to be a little bit different because it is super windy. We've got like 20-mile-an-hour winds out here. Let me show you what we got going on here, and then we'll get right to it. So, we got a nice deep pothole here, and you can see the leaves are running from me now, and I don't even know if you can hear me with this wind, but we got to fix up these potholes. We got to fix the crown on the driveway, and as we come up the driveway here, we keep going. There is some grass here that I will need to blow off, but they've got a lot of aggregate on this driveway, so I'm not too worried about that at all. But we got more potholes here. We got to fix some deep potholes, and the crown isn't too bad there, but these side areas, those are flat. It's higher in the center, but they're flat on the sides, and so we got to fix that up. We've got to just make a nice crown. And we got some moo cows out here too, but there's just some potholes throughout here. It's a very long driveway. We got some more potholes here that we need to fix up. This one's not too bad, but this one's pretty deep. And then up here you can see the grass, and I'm gonna have to try to blow this off or rake it off because it's really thick, and I don't want that in the gravel underneath, you know what I'm saying? And as you can see up here, there's just a lot more potholes. We got them here, we got them here, a couple there, more up front there, and where you see it get lighter up there, that's all grass. So I got to try to blow that off, get that all out of here, and fix up this driveway. So let's get to work, let's get it done. I will show you as much as I can. But again, it is super, super windy. So I hope you can hear me because I can barely hear myself talk. So we're gonna film what we can. Maybe I'll do some music dubbed over it because it is so windy. And my cameras will probably blow over if I try to set them up, but we'll do our best. All right, let's get to work. All right, and here we go. We're setting up to do the first pothole here. The way I do the potholes when I dig them up is I pull in front, just like you see me doing here, go right over the pothole. I get lined up, that's what I'm doing here. And then I put the power rake, the drum in reverse because it spins faster in reverse. And then I adjust it to go way down deep. So I put the whole thing down, and then I adjust that drum down as you see it going there. And I'm gonna have to do this one another time, I believe, because I didn't go deep enough. But as you can see, it's down about 2 inches that I went there, so probably gonna need to go a little bit more. I can't tell from the video here, but I'm pretty sure that I did do this one twice because I didn't quite get to the bottom of the pothole. We'll see. But this is the best way to break up those potholes. You guys have probably seen, if you're interested in my videos with the Ventrac, you've probably seen other videos with a tractor using a box blade. The difference between these two is that the drum spins super fast and it has all these teeth, and it can go down really deep and break those up really fast. Oh, and we fell over. So this here, I am blowing off the grass. What they did is when they mowed the grass, they must have let the grass grow up super high or something, because half of this driveway was covered in cut grass, and it blanketed it. It was thick. It was like a 1/2 inch thick, and I had to go through and blow that off because it would have just made a mess. So what I eventually did is I took the Ventrac, put the teeth down just so they were just skimming the top of the driveway, and it actually broke up that grass, and I was able to blow most of it off pretty easily that way. So that turned out good. It didn't take me as long, so I was happy with that. Here again, I am digging up those potholes. You've got to dig them up. You've got to break that system up and get all the way to the bottom of the potholes. It's so important. And what you see me here, why I pause and shift, I'm reversing that drum again so I can push that aggregate back into the hole that it came out of, because otherwise you get these lumps and bumps that you're driving over all the time, and it's just not super pleasant. So that's what I have to do. It takes a little bit more time to reverse that, but you know, it's wonderful. Now you guys will see that I'm not showing the entire process of the driveway, because this driveway took me 4 hours to complete, 4 or 5 hours, and so it was a long process. So I didn't show you everything because it was a very long process, but it turned out great. This was a really long driveway. I would say this driveway was a 1/4 mile long, and it was really long, but it turned out really nice. It's another crushed asphalt driveway, and I really like doing them. The crushed asphalt really churns up nice and has that really rich dark color when you first do it. Now it does turn gray over back, you know, once it dries out again, but when it's freshly done, it looks so nice. You guys know that I can't show you everything, but I do try to show you the best moments of these driveway repairs, and sometimes I can do that, sometimes it's really hard. Days like today where it was just so windy, the first part of the driveway I couldn't really show that to you because it was so windy, and like you saw, the camera blew over. That was not the camera just falling over because it wasn't set up right. These were 20-mile-an-hour winds, and with these cameras, I have a microphone on it to pick up the audio of the Ventrac, and then also it's got this muff on it so that the wind doesn't make the mic all fuzzy, and so it's called a dead cat, and it's got these little furry things all over it, and it disperses the wind, but that also catches the wind. So that's why the cameras blew over. And so I wasn't able to film that first part. I was able to film a lot of this part of the driveway because this line of trees here broke up that wind so the camera would stay standing. So I understand why some of you might be frustrated that you don't get to see the whole process, but it just comes down to time and the conditions of the day. So it just is what it is. I wish I could show you the whole process from beginning to end, but that could be a very long and kind of boring video, to be honest. Now, I typically try to show you these videos in real time, so I don't speed them up, because I want you to see and get the full effect of what it takes to repair these driveways. It can be very time consuming. Now, granted, using the power rake with the Ventrac, it goes way faster than what it would go with a tractor. Because with a tractor, you're putting those rippers down. If you've ever seen a tractor with a box blade, they have like 5 or 6 rippers in the box blade. And to rip all this up, you've got to go from the front of the driveway all the way down to the back and all the way back, and just continue to do that until everything is broken up. And then you can take the box and you can grade it. And with the Ventrac, with the power rake, it does everything all right here in the operator station. There's no adjusting the rippers, there's none of that. It's a ripper and it's a grader all in one. And it does so well because that drum just spins like crazy. And it's got all those teeth. It's got 100 or more teeth on that drum, and it just rips this stuff up and it mixes it really well. As you can see right in front of you here, it just mixes that aggregate up. So sometimes what happens when you drive on a driveway for a lot of years, some of these driveways that I've done haven't been touched in almost 20 years, And what the Ventrac does with the drum and those offset teeth is it mixes up the fine stuff with the bigger stuff again. And so it's like a fresh coat. It's like the driveway just got a fresh coat of new gravel or new aggregate, because it's just mixing and stirring that up again, so it all packs in nice, because the fines have to surround the bigs, and that's what creates that interlocking stability of the gravel in the driveway, and that's what makes it pack really, really well. So you can do that with a tractor and a box blade. It just takes longer, and you don't quite get the full mixing effect where the Ventrac with the power rake, it'll put that fine stuff over the top of the drum and it'll mix it in and lay it down, and it does a fantastic job of repairing driveways. That's why I like using the power rake so much, because it just mixes everything up together, and consequently the homeowner doesn't necessarily have to bring in new aggregate. Now, sometimes they do. Sometimes they need to bring in new stuff because the old stuff just has been depleted, whether it's from snow plowing in our area. That's what we have. That's what is the biggest culprit of pulling the aggregate out of the driveway, is plowing snow. But then you get all this other stuff where driving on it, if you drive too fast down your driveway, it'll kick the gravel out to the sides. If it's super wet and rainy and you drive too fast, it'll kick the gravel off to the sides. And so this is the best way to keep the gravel in the driveway, is to get it graded or repair it every once in a while. I like to say every 6 months, because it just keeps everything tight, keeps everything nice and tight. So I have been working on a driveway maintenance plan. So after I come in and fix the driveway, what this plan will do is every 6 months, I will then come out, grade the driveway, just push everything to the center again, and just keep it nice. And so that's what I'm working on now, and I might not be able to get it done for this year yet, but that's the program that I'm working on, because obviously there is money to be made in just maintenance as well. And as you can see the power rake running there, it's always kicked to the middle, so it's always pushing the aggregate to the middle. But what you may have noticed, is that there was a lot more aggregate on the outside edge than there was on the inside edge. And that is because that part of the driveway, that outside edge, was lower or higher than the inside, and that really makes a problem for the driveway. And that's why you have to get these driveways repaired, because it pushes all that stuff on the outside back to the inside where it needs to be, and that creates that really nice crown. And you just have to do it. So if you have a gravel driveway and you're just using one of the most common things to use is a chain link fence gate. That's one of the most common things to use, with like a brick on it or something, a block or a couple blocks, and just dragging that driveway. That's well and good, and that does keep it fairly nice, but you're not addressing the main issue, which is the crown of the driveway. You're not able to push that aggregate towards the center to keep that crown good and let that water shed off the sides. So that is the main issue with your driveway. If you've got lots of potholes, it is 9 times out of 10, it is the crown of the driveway that is the actual problem, and you need to address that before you address just grading it or whatever. Obviously you have to fix the potholes, but then to fix the actual problem, the pothole is the symptom. The actual problem is the crown of the driveway. That's why I talk about it so much. Every driveway you hear me say, I've got to come in and improve the crown, because the crown isn't very good. And it's just natural as you drive over a driveway that your tires are going to push that aggregate out towards the sides. So every so often, you got to come in and you've got to fix that, and you've got to push that aggregate back to the center of the driveway and put that nice smooth crown on it, so you don't continually get these potholes. Now, if you can see right where I'm going over right now, that's actually a low spot. And as you could see, I piled some dirt up there, some aggregate up there, and then pushed it forward and graded it out, and it was nice and flat again. That's what you want. Now, not flat, it's crowned. But you saw that I piled that in there to fix that low spot. And that's what I do with the Ventrac, is it'll push that aggregate and I can pile it up in these low spots and then grade it out, and it just looks, it makes it really nice. Sometimes that's a lot of work. Sometimes that's most of the work that I do, is just pushing aggregate, especially into the big potholes. That pothole is just that. It's a hole. It has to be filled again. And so you have to fill that, or else it's just going to continue to be a problem. So you have to push aggregate back into that hole. Now here, I'm coming up to a cement. This is the part of the driveway that leads to the garage. And you'll see that I piled a bunch of dirt at the end there. Or not dirt, but aggregate. The reason being, the reason I did that is because it was low coming up to that cement. And what I like to do, what kind of separates what I think separates my company from others, is that I try to make smooth transitions from the cement part of your driveway to the gravel part of the driveway. So I pile all that up, and then I just use my boot really and just scrape that stuff back off, and then I grade it out with the Ventrac, and it's nice and smooth, creates a nice smooth transition for the cars to come out. Alright guys, so I am done with this driveway. It was a windy mess, but let me turn you around here guys so you can see the driveway since it's done. Alright, if you remember, there was a big pothole here. That is gone, that's packed, that's beautiful. It's like it was never there. Look at this thing guys. This is another crushed asphalt driveway, and it is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I did have to move a lot of stone aggregate all around here. Oh, they got a cow out up here. He's been a nuisance. Their fence is not too great here, but I'll shoo him back in there. But anyway, we are done here. I'm just gonna walk up here, show you the rest of the driveway here real quick. They do not have a good electric fence up here. It's like a little, oh boy, I don't want him to bolt. So we might have a different kind of video here. Go on, get back in there. Get back in there. Here he goes. If you can see, he's got to duck his head under. Go on, get in there. Go on. There you go. Yeah, so he's a steer, and he's figured out how to get out. Now, whether he stays in there once I leave or not, that's questionable. Probably not. But anyway, a little extra bonus here in this video. So, yeah, I just walked by it here. There's a culvert here, a little pipe that runs right here, and I tried to build it up as good as I could here. There was actually a pothole over, well, not over this one, there was a pothole here where you see some of this stone here. I really had to build it up in here, and then I tried to raise this up a little bit. It's fine over here, but I had to raise it a little bit here. It's still not as high as I would like, but it is what it is. It'll work. And there was potholes all through here, through this section. So I put a good crown on it here. There's another culvert up here that there was a pothole right over the top of it, but it wasn't too bad. Here's the other culvert. And this pipe, you can kind of see it right here. So I don't know if it goes way downhill, but it seems like it's really shallow in there, but I never hit it. And there was a pothole right here. So I got that pothole worked up, and there was a whole string of potholes here. Another low side here with some potholes. And I did what I could. That's it for this driveway. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was oddly satisfying. And I hope the cows stay in the pen. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I'm Aaron. Over and out. We'll see you in the next video.